Alrighty, if you
Are you talking about me? You just can't even see Liam in there, dude. Liam and I are in the back. Can't even see us.
All right, if you don't know who I am, I'm the club president, Noah Vasington. You'll hear a lot from me. And then we're going to introduce each other, or everyone's going to introduce themselves a little later, so I'll just get started. So, some of you might not know the difference between Spikeball and Roundnet, but Spikeball is the company that makes all of the equipment, or at least has a monopoly on the equipment. So a lot of people know it as Spikeball when the sport is actually known as Roundnet. I'm not going to correct people too much, but I might make fun of you if you keep calling it Spikeball. But let's move on. So you're here now, so you're at least interested in competitive. The difference between casual and competitive for this club is that you want to get good. So we're going to give you our effort equal to the amount of effort that you're putting in. If you want to get good, we will help you get good. So it's a very equivalent exchange. However much effort you want to put in, we will match that. We might even go beyond and try and get you to keep matching us, but we want you to enjoy it first and foremost. But here's a couple things. So in the general chat that you guys are in, we send out a bunch of messages about pickup. That's for everyone. There is a separate chat, which I can get the people that are here into after the meeting for competitive. Sometimes we will only send messages into that chat about meeting up for practice. That's because we want meaningful games, and we can't really just invite everyone. That won't accomplish our goals. Same time, if it's just an open practice, the competitive players get a little preferential treatment. We stick to each other. We try and help each other more than we do just individual players that don't come as much. But we still want to be open to new players because anyone can decide at any point that they want to get competitive. So we don't want to miss the diamond in the rough or any of you. The third point that I made for competitive, expected to train or improve on your own. Some people that happens sometimes, or some people they don't necessarily need that, but once you get into the sport, it's hard not to think about it on your own time. So if you're competitive, we will expect you to want to get better on your own. And I also can get you your own equipment if you don't have balls or sets so that you can practice on your own or with friends or whatever during or outside of practice times. Just let me know if you need that help. So there are some added pros to playing competitive. The biggest thing is that the community is so much better. I went to the high school right down the street, and I met the UConn people here while I was still in high school, and since then I've made loads of friends, and my closest friends are Roundnet people. I still have my high school friends and other friend groups, but I'm closest and most connected with Roundnet people, and that's both at UConn and outside of UConn. So there are college tournaments, and I host stuff here, and we get people to come to those. But there are also tournaments that we travel to, and you are exposed to people from all over. For example, this past summer, I went to a bunch of places, and specifically, I'll talk about my tournaments in Long Island, Nashville, and Maryland, because I met 3 new friends from Taiwan. They were here just to come to a few tournaments, and they spent about a month in the U.S. Paul, Corinna, and Jerry were very fun to hang out with. Paul and Jerry actually got Premier, which is the highest level of play. You have to qualify to be able to play with those players, and they got it in Long Island and then played and beat some pretty good teams in Nashville and then Philadelphia. I said Maryland, I misspoke. It was Philadelphia. But just making connections all over the world. Last year, I hung out with people from Europe. They were here for a few tournaments at the beginning of the year. I met them in Orlando, and I'll see them again when I go to London for Worlds next year. I'm really looking forward to that, and it's more friendships, more connections. If you want to travel, it's just more people that will help with housing or travel, like rides, if you want to go to Europe or you want to go to other places in the US. A lot of the community just helps each other out with getting housing and whatnot. So if you're interested in traveling and doing that, this is an excuse to do so. We'll send you places for tournaments. Now we'll introduce ourselves. So I started talking about myself, but more specifically, started playing competitively 3.5 years ago. I'm a senior now. I'm from Mansfield. I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee, but the majority of my recent life, because I moved here in middle school, is from around here. My favorite memories with the club are all of the trips that we do as a team. So 2021 Nationals was my sophomore year. We went to Philadelphia, had a really good time just in the hotel rooms, just doing whatever, and then going there Saturday competing, and then Sunday just hanging out watching finals and semifinals was a complete blast. And then same things with 2022 College Nationals, which was in Raleigh, North Carolina, where we became the College Roundnet Association of Roundnet Players Mini Golf Champions. Grayson dominated for us. We got first and third. We tried to repeat this past year in Richmond. However, there were some scheduling conflicts with documentary work and teams needing to be interviewed at night. So we'll be back to defend it next year, or this year, I should say. And then outside of Roundnet, I'm a big sports guy. I enjoy watching and playing all sorts of stuff. And then I'm also a massive weeb. So if that's something you like, anime or manga, I'm a perfect guy to talk to.
All right, I'm Mike. I'm the VP from Trumbull, Connecticut. Oh, it's a microphone. Is this for the camera? Yeah. Oh, that's sick. All right. I've been playing basically competitively as long as Noah has. I have a lot of the same memories, like favorite memories as Noah. College Nationals last year and the previous year. The 21 National Championship in Philly, which is going to be held the same place as it was 2 years ago, I believe. And then, of course, playing spike ball with my sexy little president over here, Noah Vasington. Love that guy. And then other hobbies I've got, I do rock climbing. I'm in an a cappella group here. I also like snowboarding, doing a little Rubik's Cubing on the side. All sorts of little fun stuff there. Next.
What's up, guys? I'm Evan, treasurer. I'm from East Lyme. That picture is me last year, tore my labrum. So I did not play last year, so the 3 years of playing is a little off, but, close enough. 2021 sectionals, we had it here. We came in second as a team. That was really fun. And it's here again. October.
You don't have to mention it. It's later in the slides.
All right. Anyway, I play a lot of intramurals here. Love golf. Play all the sports. Best thing though, watching you kind of win the natty. So.
All right, everybody can see me. I'm Joey Grubb. I'm secretary. I know we haven't all mentioned it, but we're all seniors here, so we've all been in the club for a while now. Seen it grow. All four of us have very different personalities, so if you feel more comfortable talking to Evan because he's the treasurer and you like his personality, that's fine. If you feel more comfortable talking to Mike, even though he's the VP, it doesn't matter. Just come to us if you have questions, if you want to learn, anything like that. Just don't be afraid to ask. I'm from Niantic, Connecticut, like right next to Evan. I played for 3 years. My favorite club memory is give me a chop. And then I'm a big sports fan as well, specifically Chicago sports teams. I like the Cubs, Bulls, Blackhawks, and Bears. What? Am I okay? No, I'm definitely not okay. Crying myself to sleep at night is because of who I cheer for sports. I do intramurals, also in Special Olympics Club here at UConn, best buddies. And if you have any questions about my major, I'm an exercise science major. I'm also going pre-med, so feel free to talk to me about anything. I'll talk your ear off. Next up, we got one of our founding mothers, Ainsley.
You can stand up, you can talk from where you are, it doesn't matter.
Hi guys, I'm Ainsley. I'm the women's rep, so hi Joey. One of the women's reps, our other one is not here. Gabby? Isn't she the one? Okay. Anyway. Okay, wait. I feel like I'm not looking at anyone. I'm from Simsbury, Connecticut. I'm an animal science major. I'm also a senior, but I did just transfer here last year, so it's my second year. I played casually for 4 years, and I played competitively last year for the team. My favorite club memory was definitely last year at College Nationals that everybody's talking about, but Hallie and I we won like all of our games except for 2.
Does your back still hurt?
Yeah, my back does hurt, so does Hallie's from carrying the team, because other than one other pairing, we're the only ones that won a game. So regardless of that, we really we've built a really strong connection with the women, especially I know you guys are all dudes, that's really crappy, but I mean, I like you guys, but we really love to build the connection with women's Roundnet, and honestly with all the guys on other teams too. Like we're tight with Sunny, and which are, you'll meet them, but Sunny's gone? Okay, he graduated. Well, anyway, my fun fact, I guess, is that Gabby, who had to go to Avery Point, but we were the first women to represent UConn at the highest level as D1, because the format changed from 3 teams to 5 teams for D1 squad, and that include mixed and doubles, which we'll talk about later.
Woo! Women's Roundnet. Woo!
Yeah, you guys won't really ever be affected by that, I don't think. So, I don't know. I'm part of UConn Whitewater too, so if you guys are interested in whitewater rafting, hit me up. But yeah, that's it.
Should be Matt next.
Can I just sit here?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, my name is Matt. I'm just a member here. I'm a junior, but you'll probably be seeing me around a good amount. I'm from East Brunswick, New Jersey, and it's my first year playing Roundnet competitively, kinda. Only since like last spring, but we'll call it. Some of my favorite club memories are being ranked 28th, tied for 28th last year. There were only 29 spots, so I was, yeah. Mick and Mart's conception, that's me and Mike playing in my first tournament. That was amazing. I like to trash talk anybody and everybody with absolutely nothing to back it up, so you'll get a lot of that. And some other hobbies I have are getting crunk, being a beast, and long walks on the beach. So yeah.
These are all photos that
I already know this.
Alright.
if you come to tournaments, you will have photos of yourself.
Alright, hello everyone. I'm Scotty. I'm a sophomore. I'm not from Connecticut. Oh wait, Matt's not from Connecticut either. I'm from Mass. I'm not gonna read out the slides, but basically my favorite part about being part of the club here is basically just going on a bunch of road trips with my friends. And probably my other favorite memory is when me and Vince didn't lose a game at our first ever tournament. So we are. And I don't know, if I could give myself a leadership title, I'd probably say I think I've recruited the most people, possibly. Yeah. And yeah. But yeah, you might know me from orientation or something like that. But yeah, that's about it.
What a picture.
He still landed the seat.
I'm Vince Hackle. I'm a competitive club member, so I step up from the normal club member like Scotty. I'm from Gulf, Illinois, which is super close to Chicago, so I also have the unfortunate life choice of supporting Chicago sports teams. And my favorite club memory was drop acing Andrew Christmas, who is like a top 100 player in the country. And like they were filming this guy. They had a camera in his face like this whole tournament at College Nationals. And on the very first point of the tournament, I drop aced him.
It was electric.
It was electric. And then my other hobbies include juggling and eating ice cream. So, yeah.
There's other notable figures in the club, but for now, those are the people that will introduce themselves. And
Also, I'm a sophomore.
yeah, the people that were introduced themselves but weren't necessarily club official leaders, those are people that we're looking at to maybe be the leaders next year, because we may be gone. I might be here for an extra semester, who knows, but we'll see. Before I talk about how college works, I'm going to talk a little bit about outside of college, because the biggest thing is the STS. The STS is the Spikeball Tour Series. It's a series of tournaments that took place over the United States, Canada, and Europe this year, and is finishing up in Philadelphia at the end of the month. If it's something that you guys are interested in going to, we will try and work out carpools so that we can send people to nationals again this year. I will be going there to film documentary stuff for ESPN and Spikeball. So unfortunately this year I won't be able to be hanging out as like the UConn group, but there's plenty of other fun characters in the club that it'll be a fun time. Yeah, outside of the college stuff and the STS, there are tournaments that I host where we have people from New Jersey, from Rhode Island, from Mass, the local area. They will come and play, and you'll meet people through that, or just local tournaments that we will travel to, if there are any. Because I run, along with a couple other people, the ERS, which is the East Roundnet series, which is a collective of tournaments along the East Coast. You can continue on. So, let's get into college. This photo is from College Nationals this year in Richmond. Unfortunately, we are cut off in this specific photo. We're a little too far to the right, but we did throw in balls for this epic shot. The middle to the left guy, big afro, that is Andrew Christmas, who Vince referred to as him drop acing.
He also
Really nice guy.
printed on the back of his
Yeah.
jersey. I will say that,
Yeah.
and that's a little much.
He thinks he's the main character.
Really nice guy out of the game, really toxic in the game. Fun guy, but continue on. So, as we pointed out earlier, we are hosting fall sectionals. This was a graphic that I made myself, and I will do a lot of media stuff for the club. This is officially confirmed, so it'll be October 7th. Exact location is to be determined, because we likely won't be able to host it on UConn campus. It'll be like within 10 minutes off campus, and we'll organize rides for people to get to and from there. But there are a bunch of schools in our region. It's most of the Northeast states, or New England plus New York. So our competition is usually, Northeastern usually wins the section. Then we have RIT, who has come second the past few sectionals. And then for third place, it's usually between us and Tufts. Tufts wasn't there last spring, so we had an easy time getting third. But there's good competition in our division, and it's good experience for anyone that wants to get better, especially the fall, because it doesn't really amount to much. The spring semester is where teams really are good or have practiced enough to where the new members are good. Continue on, I'll talk about the format now. So, there's a couple rankings for players. For college, the main competition is the D1 division, and that's made up usually of 7 guys, 3 girls. The teams are split up so that you have your A team, B team, C team, and then a women's team and a co-ed team. I say usually 7 men and 3 girls because the A, B, and C team are just your best overall teams. They are not restricted by gender. It just so happens that usually those are 2 guys. Then our fully women's team last year was Ainsley and Hallie. And co-ed, Gabby, who is not here, she is at UConn Avery Point. She played with another one of our guys, Ben Ragazine. And then A, B, and C, they don't have to be like your number 1 and 2 player, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are just the best teams. So say the number 1 player plays best with the number 5, then they would be the A team. That was how it was last year with Grayson and his brother. He was T4 in the fall last year, so. And then so on and so forth. A team needs to be better than B team, C team needs to be better, or you know what I'm trying to say. And that is D1, so you only have one D1 squad per school, and that's the main competition. Everyone else will be in D2 unless we have to do an individual division. But D2 is 3 teams, doesn't matter of gender, it's any combination where A is better than B, B is better than C. That's where we'll try and set up all of you, and we'll try and make it even teams, or even squads, so that you're seeing adequate opposition, or like the other teams are matching up to your skill level. We won't stack our first D2 squad so that we win that, and we have our C team facing off against worse C teams.
So are the matches decided by best of 3 between your 3 teams?
So, tournament structure, usually there is pool play to start off the morning, where you play a single game against the other team. So, as the A team, I would play another school's A team in 1 game to 21. All of the other teams on the squad would also play the corresponding team in a game to 21. And if we win that best of 5, we win that match in pool play. And then in bracket, that's when it becomes a best of 3 of best of 3s. So like your A is playing a best of 3 against their A, B is playing a best of 3 against their B, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Well, for D2, it's best of 3, best of 3. But that's how the structure works for tournaments. And then lastly, or second to last if I want to talk about more stuff, power rankings. These were the power rankings that we did last year. We didn't do them as frequently as we wanted. We only did it in the fall. I realize now that we just didn't do it in the spring. But we want to have an accurate representation of where people are in terms of skill. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to try and see people at pickup and gauge where we think they are. Some of the top players or people that are at a majority of pickup sessions will vote on who is where in the rankings. Based off of this will just give us a gauge for where we think people stand, and it'll help determine rosters for sectionals, but it won't be the end-all be-all, because who knows, if Mike and I were the 1 and 2 players and we hated each other, we're not going to play together. So if you could be, say, like the 9th best player and you make the co-ed squad or the co-ed team or whatever, this just gives something to look at and visualize where you are in terms of the club and give you a goal for where you want to be. So last year, Matt hated being T28 and some of the names that were above him. And so over the past year, and especially over summer, he grinded. And now I see him as a top 10 player in the club, without a doubt. So this is just something that you can use as motivation to get to a higher standing if you take it that way. And yeah, we'll try and do those as a preseason, where we wrap up, or we do those over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll also do them winter to give like a middle point to the year, and then pre-sectionals in the spring we'll do as well. Maybe we'll do one at the end of the year, but for now, this is the schedule. And yeah, for now, I will take any questions Go ahead.
Sorry. I noticed bid on the slide for, we have. to
No, that's outdated information, and
Oh.
I don't care.
bid. Okay.
I mean, it could change
Disregard
back,
the
but,
question.
yeah.
Disregard
Because
the
in the
question.
past, we
So-
had to like win we had to win a certain place at sectionals to go into the nationals, but last year we did not.
Yeah, so in previous years at spring sectionals, you had to get top 3 to be allowed to play in the D1 division at college nationals. Last year, they removed that requirement because there were a lot of schools that were having trouble getting travel funds and being able to go to college nationals just because flights were very expensive at the time. So they allowed teams that were able to go, but maybe not, or that didn't qualify or were able to attend sectionals to still go. And then it's undetermined whether or not that'll be the case this year. We'll see. College nationals, while it isn't anywhere close to being confirmed, it appears as if it'll be in the Midwest this year. There's a really good facility out in Columbus that they've held majors at the past 2 years, which I could see them hosting college nationals at, and it would be awesome. Any questions? Go ahead.
Sorry, I feel like we're getting this.
You're fine.
But are we gonna like start? I know I bet everybody's wondering, but like, are we gonna start doing teams and like actually organizing this like early, like before? How long are we gonna do it before sectionals?
So,
We will know our standings.
pickup sessions, you'll see players that are good, wanting to get good, aren't so good. Use those sessions to try out, like playing with other people, see chemistry, get to know each other. And then the people that are looking to make those roster selections, we will take note of that. We'll ask you guys what you think of your certain pairings. Because if we think 2 people play together, like I said earlier, but they don't agree with that, we're not going to force you to play together. I'll also add this because it's a question I get a lot from people that are in the club now. In terms of funding, we can get funding for the club. We just usually don't because it's a pain in the ass and they don't usually accept our funding requests. So I do a lot of the funding. I work a lot during the week, and a lot of that money goes towards the club. That's why almost all of the equipment is owned by me, and I support the club myself. From that, whenever we do like jersey orders or apparel orders or anything, I will try and subsidize the costs for you guys if I can. I want to make sure that there's no barriers to entry or accessibility issues for you guys because I'm already invested in the whole Roundnet scene. I just want to get more people invested in it. So I will do what I can to make that happen. And then I had another thought, but I've lost it. I'll think about it later. Any other questions or comments you want to ask?
I'm an exchange student. I'm only here till December. Would it still be worth it to like try to go to competitive?
Yeah. Yeah. Come to sectionals, come to whatever. We'll have you while you're here, and then when you go back to Germany, I will hook you up there. I've got connections there, so we'll work something out. Anyone else?
Say we're top 10 in the country.
Oh, true. We did technically get top 10 at college
Not
nationals.
technically, we got it.
We got it.
We got
did.
it. How did we get it?
Uh,
say it.
through consolation matches where some other teams didn't want to play because they were tired or they lost hope because they got knocked out, and we just got the win.
I feel disrespected.
Yeah,
Put some respect on our name.
gotcha.
We're actually ranked.
Do you guys want to say anything?
Real quick, so if you don't have any interest in going to sectionals like this fall, but you still want to play competitive, that's like totally fine. Like, don't worry about it. Maybe you want to go in spring, maybe you want to go next year. Doesn't matter. Don't let that deter you from what you want to do. You'll find where you'll find your group of people in the club. You'll find your skill level. Like, don't worry about I'm playing with a bunch of people who are not good. Like, you'll find your level. You'll find the people that will help you get better if you so choose. Just whatever you want to make out of it is what you can make out of it, you know? Whatever effort you're willing to put in is whatever you'll get back out of it.
Oh, one thing that I wanted to say is that, like I said earlier, I do a lot of graphic stuff. So I'm going to bring back something we did last year called Feature Fridays, where I'm going to send out a form. You guys can answer some questions about yourself. And I will try and get a picture of you at pickup or whatever. And I'll make a graphic like these. You'll be featured on the club Instagram. And we'll just introduce our new members. So you can show other people that this is something that you're doing, that you enjoy, so on and so forth, whatever you want to get out of it. You don't have to, if you don't want to be included on these Feature Fridays, you don't have to submit anything to the forum. This is all, if you're interested, I'd love to do it.
Did everybody put their name and year on this background?
Yeah, because I'll use that to get people into the competitive chat if you're not already in there. What else? What else? Oh, I don't know if I said this, but, or yeah, I think I did say this, but the prices that I can get pro sets for are $54. They retail for $100, so always go through me if you or a friend is looking to buy equipment, and I'm just a good resource for that. Same with balls. I can get those for cheaper. I've got connections with Inspike Ball and friends and whatever. So use me as a resource. I'm happy to be used for that.
There's still munchkins.
Yeah.
Take munchkins. I don't want them.
Also, some of us are going to go get dinner after this at McMahon, so feel free to join. We, especially after tournaments, we like having a team dinner. I think a couple years ago when we hosted sectionals, we actually snuck some other people from other schools into one of the, or I think it was North. Yeah. Yeah. And so just hanging out with the club is just a good time. But I think that's it for me.
Hey, settle down.
I hope you guys got enough info out of this that you wanted. I'll take any last questions, and if you have questions that you think of afterwards, where you couldn't think of them in the moment, just reach out to me. I can actually put my phone number up here so that you guys have it. I prefer text to group me just because it doesn't always.
He does have an Android, just saying.
Yeah, I do have an Android, which it's either better or worse depending on what you prefer in a phone.
Worse.
Um,
It's worse.
Are you really trying to plug Androids right now?
no.
865?
Yeah, it's a Tennessee phone number.
How long ago did you get
Yeah.
When I first got a phone. But I prefer text over GroupMe just because for some reason the GroupMe app is buggy sometimes and doesn't send me notifications about DMs from people I haven't already messaged. So just text me if you have any questions. I have WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever. You can find me. No.
Follow him on Instagram.
But yeah, that's it. You guys don't have to stay here.
If you have questions, comment.